Good afternoon. Today is the 14th of October 2021. Welcome to the lunchtime news here on TV1 for the News First team, the voice of the people. I'm Sanita Senanayaka. Before we take a look at the stories for this afternoon in detail, let's take a look at your headlines.
Farmers continue protests demanding fertilizer. Distribution of liquid fertilizer begins in Ampara. Did authorities try to distribute tea waste as fertilizer? Tensions in Eppawala. Why was the cost of goods increased? 5 dead in Norway bow and arrow attack.
Now to those stories in detail. The central bank has decided to retain its policy interest rates at current levels.
The central bank has kept the standing deposit facility rate at 5% and the standing lending facility rate at 6%. It said the bank interest rate has been fixed at 9% and the statutory reserve ratio at 4%. The central bank has said its monetary board has made these decisions considering the macroeconomic conditions.
Credit growth in both private sector as well as public sector has been quite strong, and that's why we believe in order to ensure that there is growth momentum which is now presently progressing, we don't need to dampen that, neither do we want to stimulate it any further. So that's the reason why the Monetary Board decided that we would keep the rates steady. We see the need for stronger growth for next year, and we believe that with the tourism opportunities that would arise as a result of the vaccination program that has been put in place by the government, we would see a strong rebound of tourism if the world also gets back to near normalcy or normalcy. That's an area that we have no control over. But with that strong rebound in the world, we also believe that the current wave of commodity price increases is also a reflection of that situation. And that's something that we need to be guarding against, because that can provide some supply side inflation, and the central bank is keeping a very close tab on that to see how best we are going to manage that situation as well.
Could you give us an idea of the value of the GSP Plus facility on an annualized basis?
We have not given that here, but we have internally done those discussions, and we believe that the impact of any reversal could be met with the policy measure assured all stakeholders that we would be in a position to deal with that situation in case there is any necessity to deal with it, and we would be not hesitant to do that as well.
Let's now take a look at a story that has made headlines this afternoon. Minister of Power Gamini Lukuge says the rise in prices of goods in the country is not the fault of the government. He expressed these views speaking at a media briefing held at the Sri Lanka Podujana Peramuna party headquarters today.
Today, the people are facing numerous problems. Due to the depreciation of the dollar, the price of milk, powder, wheat flour and gas has increased. But none of that is the fault of the government. With the current state of the economy, we are unable to provide concessions when world market prices increase. In the recent past, we were able to provide concessions and control prices. Even today, the Ceylon Petroleum Corporation runs with the government funds and the government having to bear the loss. The Little Gas company sold gas, but the government incurred the loss. The government will always look for a way to provide relief to the people. But as the government, whether we like it or not, we must face the COVID-19 pandemic.
Taking a look at another headline-making story, a tense situation arose at a storage in Andavala Eppawala last night when a stock of dust tea was brought to be mixed with organic fertilizer.
It was revealed that the stock of dust tea found at the storage unit was taken into custody by customs in order to be destroyed later. A tense situation arose when the cardboard boxes and the plastic paper used to wrap the stocks of dust tea were about to be set on fire.
මේවගේ තැනකට ගිනි තියන්න පුළුවන්ද ඔබතුමාලට? අපි කස්ටම් එකේ අපිට වැඩක් නෑ මේ කසලතේ. මේගොල්ලෝ ඉල්ලලා තියෙනවා SM චන්ද්‍රසේන මහත්තයා හරහා. හරි. SM චන්ද්‍රසේන මහත්තයා මේක මේ පරිසෙන් දූෂණය මේවා කරන්නේ නෑනේ. නෑ ඒක අපි දන්නේ නෑ. හරිද? එතකොට කවුද වාක්‍යන්නේ ගබඩා කරන්නේ?
Cultivation for the Maha season is set to begin tomorrow. The Ministry of Agriculture states that bioliquid fertilizer will be distributed to 50,000 hectares of farmlands in the Ampara district. Minister of Agriculture Mahindananda Alutgamage said that 30,000 metric tons of organic fertilizer containing potassium chloride has been imported into the island from Lithuania and been distributed island-wide. The minister further said that all fertilizer requirements of the country will be fulfilled by the beginning of the Maha season.
Ampara should become a priority when it comes to the distribution of organic fertilizer for the Maha season. We received a shipment of organic fertilizer containing potassium chloride yesterday, and we made the necessary arrangements to distribute the fertilizer to Ampara yesterday itself. We will be distributing the bioliquid fertilizer to 50,000 hectares of farmlands in the Ampara district today. It will reach Ampara by this evening. Therefore, we have made all the necessary arrangements for the rest of the bioliquid fertilizer to reach Ampara within a couple of days or a couple of weeks. 66,000 farmers in the Ampara district have collected 12,500 rupees each from the government to manufacture organic compost fertilizer. We have also made the necessary arrangements to allow the farmers who could not manufacture their compost to purchase compost. Therefore, we are in the process of distributing organic compost fertilizer, bioliquid fertilizer as well as organic fertilizer containing potassium chloride to the Ampara district. We are also in the process of implementing nano nitrogen fertilizer from India to be distributed to the farmers.
Farmers complain they haven't received fertilizer for the Maha cultivation season. Some are harvesting vegetables they cultivated without fertilizer during the Yala season. Farmers in Haliyala, Uduwara and Kirinda cultivate cabbage every year. Their harvest has failed this time.
In more local news, Oshada Senanayaka, the Director General of the Telecommunications Regulatory Commission of Sri Lanka, announced that Sri Lanka has granted legal approval for the number portability service. He said all the service providers were informed about the go-ahead earlier this week to create a central database with all subscribers. Number portability enables mobile phone users to retain their mobile phone numbers when changing from one mobile network carrier to another. This was revealed at a media briefing held at the President's Media Division.
We witnessed a severe breakdown in the national system during your period, especially the loss of data in the NMRA cloud. Also the issue where you are failing to give vehicle licenses because of a crash in the computer system. Many of the government's websites have also crashed during this time. We see a massive lag in the national system, even though you stated that you are trying to take communication technology to the villages. You stated that the RMV service has dropped. The demand for these services has increased by over 400%. Then this is not only a problem that's in Sri Lanka. Even Facebook and Instagram lost $7 billion because their systems crashed for 6 hours. It has only been 2 months since I took over the ICTA. We have taken immediate steps to make the government cloud into a data center.
Lanka government cloud එක තනිකරම ඒක data center කරන්න ක්‍රියාත්මක වෙලා තියෙනවා ඉතාමත් ශීඝ්‍රයෙන්.
In more local news, the Frontline Socialist Party distributed leaflets today to educate the public against the sale of public assets to foreign companies and the rising cost of living.
This was organized by the Centre for Workers' Struggle of the Frontline Socialist Party. The distribution of leaflets was carried out opposite the Set City Pier.
In more local news, teachers' unions announced that they will give the government time until the 21st of this month to resolve the issues pertaining to salary anomalies.
What we are saying is that teachers who work tirelessly to provide education to the students in Sri Lanka must be given an extra 30 billion rupees. The government can do this. We know that clearly. They already made the decision to give 120 million rupees to the chairman and vice chairman of district coordinating committees. Why are they doing that? They are doing that aiming at the provincial council elections. The government has a fund for these sorts of expenses, but they don't have funds to solve the salary issue of teachers and principals. We took a step back. We asked for the Subodhini committee report that required 71 billion rupees. What we requested was a proposal of 30 billion rupees. We requested that as part of the Subodhini committee report, we will continue this trade union action in the coming week. We will have to announce our decision on the reopening of schools if a solution is not given before the 21st. Views regarding the comments made by SLPP MP SB Disanayake recently were expressed as well. SB Disanayake is not even a cabinet minister. SB Disanayake has made mistakes in the past by doing and saying silly things. It is people like SB Disanayake who is useless that make statements like this to gain power. So SB Disanayake must look at a mirror and reflect upon himself. Do not clash with teachers and principals. Don't make more mistakes.
India's Army Chief General Manoj Mukund Naravane paid his respects to the historic Sri Mahabodhiya in Anuradhapura yesterday. He is visiting the country responding to an invitation of the Sri Lanka Army Commander General Shavendra Silva.
India's Army Chief General Manoj Mukund Naravane visited the historic Sri Mahabodhi in Anuradhapura yesterday. He called upon the Atamasthanathipati Venerable Pallegama Srinivasa Nayaka Thera and obtained his blessings.
Seek the blessings. It is a big honor for both of us.
Meanwhile, the Sri Lanka Army's Gajaba Regiment held its 38th anniversary celebrations today. This was at its headquarters in Salyapura. India's Visit Army Chief General Manoj Mukund Naravane attended the event.
Indian Member of Parliament Dr. Subramaniam Swamy attended an event on national security in the 21st century organized by the Institute of National Security Studies last year. Defence Secretary General Kamal Gunaratne was also in attendance.
And the first point I want to make of the national security in this coming 80 years left is that there is no such thing as a big country or small country in the new domain or the new structure of national security. Why? Because remember that when the war started as a method of different countries, it was all in the beginning all on the ground. Then after the 1900s began with the advent of air power. And now there is a new element, and that is the cyber war. And the cyber warfare, there is no such thing as a large centuries. It did matter whether you're a large country with a large army or a small country with a small army. Whereas now the concept of bigness of the army has ceased to have meaning in starting with this century. Sri Lanka may be a small island compared to, say, big countries like China, Russia, United States, India. But in a cyber warfare, if you develop that expertise, you will be equal to all those countries. You can sit in a room and damage a whole country in some other faraway place. Small, big countries are all friends or threats. There can be no question of ignoring any country.
In more local news, a special operation conducted by the Navy in seas east of Point Pedro and Vettalaikarni yesterday led to the seizure of 2 Indian fishing vessels poaching in Sri Lankan waters with 23 Indian fishers aboard.
The operation also led to the seizure of fishing gear from those vessels used for the illegal fishing practice known as bottom trawling and a stock of fish caught by the same fishing method. The 2 fishing vessels and 23 Indian fishermen held in this operation have been detained in naval custody until they are handed over to relevant authorities for onward legal action.
Foreign Secretary Admiral Jayanath Columbage addressed the 6th ministerial meeting of the Conference on Interaction and Confidence Building Measures in Asia yesterday.
Sri Lanka's vision in achieving sustainable development through regional and global connectivity, augmented by its natural, neutral and non-aligned foreign policy, has been spelled out by the President, His Excellency Gotabaya Rajapaksa, in the National Development Policy Framework Vistas of Prosperity and Splendor. As it is known, the center of gravity of global economy has shifted progressively towards Asia. Over the past few decades, Asian economics are catching up and becoming larger than the rest of the world. Thus, it is evident that in an increasing globalized and interdependent world, maritime, land, people-to-people and other types of connectivity in the SICA region are becoming imperative for success. In this context, Sri Lanka is looking forward to the collective leadership of SICA in accomplishing the ambitious sustainable development goals collectively.
Taking a look at some COVID-19 related news, Sri Lanka's health chief says the number of COVID-19 cases under intensive care has reduced by half.
Director General of Health Services Dr. Asela Gunawardana has said the people's support is needed to control the spread of COVID-19. He said the current restrictions will be reviewed at the meeting of the COVID-19 task force with the President tomorrow. The health chief pointed out that some people don't wear the face mask properly and cautioned it may cause the spread of the infection.
And that brings us to an end of this edition of Lunchtime News here on TV1. For more details, log on to our website, that is www.newsfirst.lk. For the News First team, I've been Sanita Senanayake. Take care and stay safe.